Train the muscles, not the joints.
Welcome back to Natural Gland Bodybuilding. Motion. And I just had somebody in the comments ask me a question about training multiple times in one day, like splitting up one workout into multiple sessions. And what do I think about that? And is it effective and so forth? So now what I'm going to say is back in the day, I experimented with this quite a bit because when I was personal training in a gym, I had clients that were always spread out throughout the day. And in between meals and, leaving the gym, coming back and so forth, a lot of times I didn't have a large amount of time in order for me to get a full training session in. Sometimes I did, but even when I did, it was almost like I was too tired to do the session because I'd already been training a bunch of people and giving them my, positive energy and so forth. And it was like I was mildly burned out by the time they left the gym. I just wanted to leave too. Because whenever you work somewhere, you know how it is. The first thing you want to do is leave when you don't have to work anymore, right? You just want to get out of there. So what I started to do, mainly for motivational reasons and to keep me going, especially when I was training people, is that I would start to train with my clients, just a few body parts or a few sets with each of my clients. Or I would do just certain body parts with my clients to show them what intensity looked like and to help motivate them too, because I was competing at the time. So sometimes just training with me would help motivate them. But a lot of times I would train in these little tiny workouts throughout the day because it also kept me awake and kept me engaged with what I was doing. But when I wanted to do my bigger body parts or, the squats and the deadlifts and so forth, I would usually do that at another time of day when I was by myself or just training with a training partner. And I would just block off about a half an hour and I would bang that workout out at that point. So I started to have these piecemeal type workouts that would add up to a full workout in a day. And I started to notice that I felt really good doing that. It felt like it kept the metabolism going and it felt like I had a lot of blood flow. I had a lot of energy for each body part that I was training because I wasn't trying to do the whole marathon thing with multiple body parts through one workout. But the main reason why I did it wasn't because it was more effective. It was more because it was easier to find motivation doing these smaller workouts after being in the gym all day long. So another example of this is something that I do now. Sometimes when I get up after I finish answering emails or doing whatever I'm doing in the morning, having some breakfast and so forth, then I'll move myself into my home gym and get the exercises out of the way that are the hardest. So I'll do squats or I'll do deads or I'll do bent over rows or whatever. All the exercises that are not quite as much fun to do, but they're really effective, I'll do that first. And then if I feel like, okay, I've spent enough energy in this workout, I got to go do some video editing or I got to go shoot another video or do something, that's what I'll do. I'll go do that. And then I'll go to the gym later to work on some other body parts, like the easier body parts or you could say the cosmetic beach muscles or whatever, right? But I do that because I find when I use the energy that I have, when I have it to accomplish the hard things, then the easier things are easy to accomplish later on in the day. So that's why I will sometimes do these piecemeal workouts. It's more like a motivation and a timing thing. So when I get squats or walking lunges or whatever out of the way, I don't have to think about, oh man, when I go to the gym later, I got to get this accomplished. And sometimes at the end of the day, you don't have as much energy as the beginning. So I use that energy to get stuff done in the beginning of the day. And then I know that I'll have energy to accomplish the little things later on. It'll be a lot easier for me to make sure I have that energy reserve. But the possible benefit of that, if you have that option, say you work from home or you have a strange schedule where you're working for a couple hours, then you're not, and then, back and forth. The neat part about this is that it keeps your metabolism going throughout the day. It's easier to manifest more energy for an individual body part and really concentrate on it instead of dispersing your energy amongst a lot of different body parts. And I do find it's a lot easier to get motivation to do a smaller workout and get that blood going than having this huge workout built up in your mind and you're thinking about what you got to accomplish. And sometimes you're even conserving energy in the first few sets of your workout because you've got a bunch of other body parts and a bunch of other sets to do. So in this way, spreading out the body parts throughout the day or spreading out the exercises might not be a bad idea for you to try if you're struggling with motivation or just getting the energy to get up and go because it's too overwhelming to accomplish the big workout. One of the things I'll tell people if they have trouble working out or trouble getting motivation in their beginning, I would say just do something really small, really little, like 30 seconds, 45 seconds. Just do that once, and then 40 minutes later or an hour later, do it again, or 2 hours later, do it again, and do these little tiny workouts instead of having this huge thing that you have to accomplish all at once, because that usually will kill a person's motivation, especially when they have a huge aversion to pain. But for myself, I just find I like to use the energy when I have it, and in the beginning of the day, I tend to have more energy, so it's good for me to get the bigger body parts out of the way. And sometimes I'm also trying to accomplish other things when I have that energy too. So sometimes I'll cut the workout short, I'll do those other chores or whatever it is that I have to do, and then I'll come back and accomplish the smaller body parts later on in the day. So yeah, that's how I do it, and that's why I do it. Is it a more effective training technique? Maybe, it might be, if you have the time and if you have the scheduling for it. Most people don't. But if you do, then yeah, by all means experiment with it if you think that it's a way that you have more energy and more motivation. Because whatever gives you more motivation is going to help you have a higher amount of intensity, and you're also going to be sticking to the rest of the things that are necessary, such as sleep and eating, if you have more motivation and more enthusiasm around what you're doing. So yeah, I hope this helps you out in your training. Thanks a lot for watching. If you need to get a hold of me, just go to naturalgallantbodybuilding.com, and thanks to the Patreon supporters, and take care for now. Mountain.